Hello, we are the Academic Support Services team in the UNT Learning Center. The Learning Center is here to support you with all your academic needs, with multiple workshops and support services like academic coaching, supplemental instruction, and tutoring. In this presentation, you will get a taste of one of our academic support services as we explore academic dishonesty, how to avoid it, and what to do if you're ever implicated. Let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about academic dishonesty, what it is, how it can happen, what the implications are, and how to appeal if you're ever accused of academic dishonesty. First, let's get into academic dishonesty and what it includes. According to UNT's Student Academic Integrity Policy, academic dishonesty includes, but is not limited to, cheating, which we'll discuss on the next slide, fabrication, typically linked to false resources you may list on a reference page, facilitation of academic dishonesty, which could look like encouraging or enabling someone else to engage in one of these practices, forgery, where you create a fake resource or material to support your ideas or claim, plagiarism, where you reference someone else's work without citing them appropriately, which we'll discuss more on the next slide, and sabotage, which occurs when you try to make your own work look better in comparison to someone else's by purposefully diminishing their work. For the purposes of this presentation, we will focus specifically on cheating and plagiarism, because those practices are much easier to accidentally commit, whereas the others most always require a choice to be deceptive. Cheating and plagiarism are often used interchangeably, but there are some subtle but important differences. The UNT policy defines cheating as the use of unauthorized assistance in an academic exercise, including but not limited to the use of any unauthorized assistance to take exams, quizzes, tests, or other assessments, using any source beyond what is explicitly authorized by your instructor, using materials belonging to instructors, staff members, or other UNT students without permission, submitting an assignment in one class that you originally completed for another class, or any other act that would give a student an unfair advantage on an academic assignment. Plagiarism is defined by using another's thoughts or words without giving them the proper credit. This also includes turning in materials created by someone else, such as using a paper written by a friend or buying an online paper. Both violate UNT policy, as well as the general academic integrity policies across every university in the country. So you want to be very careful not to engage in these practices and risk the college degree that you've been working so hard to earn. Next, we'll talk about how academic dishonesty can happen. Some academic dishonesty is done accidentally. While we don't assume any of our incoming students will be dishonest, we recognize that some students can do one of these things if they're not careful. Academic dishonesty can occur in several ways, but here are the most common. Misunderstanding the requirements for different citation styles and not citing something correctly. Not citing less formal sources. Did you know that your class notes count? And so does your previous work. Even if you're not copying and pasting a section of a previous assignment, but you're using the information you learned in preparation for the assignment, you need to cite the resources you used and even your past work if you are asserting an original idea of yours from the past. Infographics and images also count, and these are often missed. It's also not uncommon to misrepresent sources by copying a bibliography that you didn't create, or adding sources that you didn't use or look at your reference page. Your instructor can tell when you cite things that you didn't need to or didn't use. You also don't want to overestimate common knowledge. For example, we cited some terms on the UNT's academic integrity policy, so that we didn't assume that we were all on the same page about the meaning of those terms. Here's the thing. Your instructor can and will always tell you if you're being overzealous and citing things that you don't need to, but you may not get a warning before academic dishonesty. Many students like to study in groups, and that's a great way to facilitate learning, whether you're in person, meeting over Zoom, or even on a call. However, this automatically puts you at a greater risk for cheating. One way to avoid cheating is to avoid working on graded assignments together when you have to turn in individual responses. This way, you won't accidentally have identical answers to someone without being able to show that this was your original thought. Instead, focus on doing things that help you get the answer, rather than giving someone the actual answer. Plagiarism doesn't just happen in academic circles. It can happen with comic books, music, and even in comedy. One example is when Katy Perry was accused of copyright infringement over her song Dark Horse in 2019. Next, we'll get into the implications of academic dishonesty. There are several potential consequences to academic dishonesty. You may be asked to redo the assignment or complete additional coursework. You could also receive only partial credit for an assignment or fail the assignment. Grade-wise, academic dishonesty could mean that your final grade is lowered, or you automatically fail the course. Depending on the severity of the academic dishonesty, you could also be put on probation or suspension, be expelled from the university, or even have your degree revoked. Aside from all the consequences you could receive from UNT, you could also be potentially fined or jailed for copyright infringement, depending on what you plagiarized. If for any reason you find yourself accused of academic dishonesty by an instructor or someone else, you do have the right to an appeal. To appeal, you must submit a written appeal to the department chair within 5 days of the decision that you have committed academic dishonesty. You can find the form online on UNT's Academic Integrity Policy page. Once your appeal is received, the department chair will decide who will oversee your appeal. It will either include the department chair themselves or a committee of faculty members. Once you've submitted your appeal, the department chair may ask for a written statement from your instructor who accused you, or want to complete interviews with you or any other relevant party. Once you've submitted your appeals request, you will receive an email sent to your UNT email address within 10 days of a decision. The person/persons in charge of evaluating your appeal do have the right to uphold the original penalty that you received, deny the penalty altogether, or recommend a different penalty, and this decision is final. If you have been repeatedly accused of engaging in academic dishonesty or engaged in a major violation that results in a recommendation for probation, suspension, expulsion, or revocation of degree, the Office of Academic Integrity will take over your appeal. If this happens, the Office of Academic Integrity will hold a conference directly with you and give you the opportunity to present any relevant evidence or bring an advisor or attorney. To appeal the decision made by the Office of Academic Integrity, you will need to submit an appeal to the Office of the Provost. The Provost is the only person who can overrule this finding. Hopefully, you will never need to know the implications of academic dishonesty. There are resources at your disposal to help you stay on the right track. Firstly, Willis Library has an online citation guide at guides.library.unt.edu to help you when you're citing references. The Writing Center also has tutors who can help you make sure you're using correct citations on assignments. You can schedule an appointment with them or utilize their drop-in hours when they're available. You can also use free plagiarism checkers to double-check that you haven't missed anything, such as Grammarly, EasyBib, and Turnitin. And of course, we've cited our sources here. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to check us out at learningcenter.unt.edu and follow us on social media to get the latest updates. Welcome to UNT and go Mean Green.